Oh, wait, did you?
Welcome to Brain Wreck. I'm Jason X.
I'm Kevin Graham.
And this is the podcast that tastes better than beer out of a girl's ass in Ocean City.
Oh.
Oddly specific.
Oddly
but you know
specific.
what? Forget all that because we are talking...
We're talking 90s.
We're talking 90s tonight. The good old days. The old wild, wild west of civilization.
Was that what it was?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So... there's a reason that this got brought up, and of course we're. Oh well, hold on. Let me.
Wait.
Let me show the people what we
wait.
got on the table tonight.
Shit.
Yeah, we're getting in that. Yeah, green screen kind of fucked it, but
no.
you know.
Hey, keep it nice and close. I shouldn't drink this. I'm gonna drink it anyways.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, it's gonna be a long night.
Smell it. Smell it.
Smell the.
Oh, that smells
smell
like.
the
Yeah.
It tastes like.
Like piss.
I was gonna say it. I don't know if it tastes like piss. It's been a while. I don't think I've had Surge since the 90s.
I got a little bit when it got reintroduced. What was that?
When it
5
when
years
it came
ago?
back about it was like 4 or 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And we'll keep the labels out.
Labels out.
I think I had a little bit of a taste when it came back.
I popped Fenton, by the way.
You popped him.
I popped
Fenton.
Good.
I think I had a little bit of a taste when it came back into our lives.
Yep.
But I think really the first and only time I've ever really had Surge was when my brother and my babysitter gave it to us.
Oh, Jesus.
That was a poor decision on her part.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
right?
that was. I mean, I want to say that was like at that point maybe like mid late 90s. Yeah. Boy, my parents came home and they were like, "Oh, not again."
Yeah, no, you ain't getting
Never
paid
again
tonight.
is this going to happen. Oh, that babysitter didn't know what she was in for.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had a trampoline when I was a kid, so like we would get all jacked up on Surge and go wrestle out on the trampoline and almost break our necks. It was amazing. What a time.
What a time.
What a time.
What a time it was.
And you know, this whole theme of the show came about off of a random conversation I had with the wife.
Oh. Okay.
So I was having a random conversation with the wife, and she had never heard of Nick Arcade.
I don't know how
before.
that is possible.
I don't know how it's possible either. Apparently she was poor and didn't have TV. What do you want? So I had to explain to her what Nick Arcade was and how infuriating it was that the people who went and did the green screen virtual reality thing couldn't do it. Like,
well, I mean, that's... I could see how that would be difficult.
I don't.
At the time.
Fuck the time.
Hey, man, Morris Day is a saint.
That's fair. All right, what are we saying? Axe, give me one for my... Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes. You gave Chris... You got Chrissy a can of Surge for her birthday.
Because I bought, like, the 24-pack.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way it was available.
The gimmick. Oh, yeah.
And she could not...
It's
finish it.
Yeah, man.
It's
like,
something else.
Like, okay, let's just look at the quality of this.
Yeah.
less than 1% juice.
Well, that's good.
Just in case you were curious and thought there might have been juice.
I just saw the sugar.
In this one can, there was 56 grams of sugar, which is actually a lot less than what I remembered.
Holy shit. Just for point of reference, a typical can of soda has about 16.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really drink soda anymore.
Yeah.
So
this is 5 times.
This is I'm not sleeping tonight again. And I haven't slept in a while, so I might baby this one. I might take this easy. It's I'm a grown ass man now. I can't be bouncing off the walls like I used to.
You don't have
Plus,
kids,
my throat is kind of starting to burn a little bit. Like, not even gonna joke about it. Like, I've only taken 3 sips, and my throat is kind of on fire.
Oh boy!
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of shows, so let me get back to what we're.
Okay.
We can't get too sidetracked.
The Nick Arcade.
Show. Nick Arcade. So she didn't know what it was, and I was explaining how it was infuriating that everybody kind of fucked up. The same thing with the goddamn Shrine of the Silver Monkey in Legends of the Hidden Temple. How the fuck does no one know how to put that thing together? Like, you make it face out, you put the pieces, you jam the head down, you move the fuck on.
Right.
So the same thing with the goddamn green screen in Nick Arcade. No one could figure it out. I showed it to my wife, and she was just like, I don't understand what this show is. Or
weirdly enough, like, that was the show I always wish was on.
Yes.
Just because it was arcade, and you could play like Sonic. Like that was the big thing.
You could
it was
play
like
Sonic.
there was a state like there was a part of the show where like they just played Sonic. Like I probably could have gone to a friend's house and actually played Sonic, but I was like, no, I have to watch. It was like the original Twitch.
It was.
It was like the
Holy
original
shit.
Twitch. Yeah, except live action.
Yeah, and really shitty.
And really shitty.
Really shitty. But so we watched that, but then
Right.
what happened was from that video
Uh-huh.
of showing her what it was, we went down a rabbit hole
As
of-
you do.
other 90s. So we obviously went through all the other Nick shows, watched some tremendous videos of people failing at guts.
Oh, jeez.
It was amazing. But then we got to the commercials.
Commercials were a thing.
And
back then.
that's what I was trying to say. Like I was having the conversation with my wife as we were watching the 90s commercials, and let me tell you, we found this video playlist on YouTube of 90s commercials.
Right.
And each video is about 20 minutes long. There's 200 fucking videos. I swear we probably watched.
We could do a week's
15
worth
of
of
them.
content just on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
we could be here literally all day and night.
But and just for everybody to know, I did pull a couple that we were going to watch together. So it's going to be terrific.
All right. Fantastic. I cannot wait.
But anyway, I was explaining to my wife, like, because every time one would come on, I would get so happy.
Right.
Because I'd be like, oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
And, like, it triggered, like, such a nostalgic thing. And I was just like, I don't remember when I'm this happy before.
I remember you texting. Actually, yeah, I now remember you texting me that. You were like, I just watched some 90s commercials. Like, I didn't know how far down the rabbit hole you went.
Really far.
But you were like, I just watched some 90s commercials, and I can't remember the last time I was this happy. And I was like, Jesus Christ, he's sad. I'm like, oh my God.
No, nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
It is a hell of a drug.
I remember, like, vivid things about, like, where I was and, like, sitting in my room and being alone and having a good time.
I remember being alone. It was the happiest time of my life.
It was amazing,
oh my God.
right? So, but I was explaining to my wife, or we were talking, and I
Right.
was saying, like, my kids aren't going to have this.
They're not,
because we don't watch
nowadays,
TV like that.
You don't watch TV. Everything's so on demand now.
Yeah.
And nobody pays attention to the commercials.
No.
Like a commercial you want to see nowadays is like an influencer, like incorporating another brand into their social media post.
Right. And then not only that, but like we have DVR.
Yeah, so you just skip right
you're
over
just gonna,
everything.
anything that you do. And my kids just watch YouTube all the time anyway.
Yeah.
And of course we have Red, so no commercials,
No commercials there. Yeah, you pay for no
well
commercials,
worth the money, I will
or
say.
you just get ad blocker.
Whatever. So yeah, I was having like such a nostalgia fix that I was just like, oh man, we gotta bring it back.
Bring it back.
We gotta bring it back.
Bring it back.
And the funny thing was, I was looking at some of the stuff and I'm just like, man, it's not too far off from what we got now too. Like there was some things that I'm just like, man, that's oddly similar to like some of the things that we have
Like what?
today. I can't think of this specific example, like Eggos.
I mean, Eggos have been around for a while.
Have they though?
Yeah, they have.
Okay, so but then there were other things, and which we will witness here today.
Okay.
That, I'm like, that's so 90s. Like it is so 90s, and I think that's the perfect place for us to start.
Okay.
Is we're gonna go and we're gonna watch this first video. This is probably the most 90s commercial you'll ever see.
Okay.
All right, so let's give this a watch.
Yesterday morning, Mrs.
Look at that shirt. Fast zooms, close-ups.
Fast zooms, kid with shaggy hair,
Yeah.
and flannel, or yeah,
Well, 2 T-shirts clearly. Mischievous,
mischievous.
and then this is amazing.
These
Pete and Pete.
Free cassette, dude. I wish they gave out free cassettes.
Right? How amazing would that
Oh my
be?
God.
So that was probably the most 90s commercial you'll see
Right.
all night, but it was amazing. And the thing, like, a big point in that commercial was the neighbor's like, oh, he's such a smart boy.
Yeah.
But the kid was just like, I don't want to be smart. I want to be cool.
I want to be hopped up on sugar and be a fucking asshole.
Exactly. And, like, you'll never see that nowadays of, like, promoting being an asshole kid.
No.
Like, all this anti-bullying.
I don't even think kids can have sugar anymore.
No. Well, yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of, like, fucking...
It's like
paleo diets and
gluten,
goddamn whatever
killing
the
everybody.
fuck. Yeah, and so, but that was a big thing. That was like, oh man, I don't want to be smart. I want to be like that kid. Forget being smart.
Okay, so what's
so that was like one of the first things that we saw was not only that, but then it like a big flood came back of like all the cereal commercials.
Right.
And so we watched like that one, the really fucking weird one about Apple Jacks, where a bunch of kids were just sitting in a room eating Apple Jacks, and then the asshole older brother comes in and goes like, "Why do you like that? It doesn't taste like apple." And they were just like, "Well, you don't know why it tastes good." And he goes, "Okay, well, tell me." And then they all look at each other just like, "It just does."
It's because it's sugar. That's all it is. It was just sugar. I will say this. Christy bought a box of Fruity Pebbles not too long ago.
Okay.
Dude, the cereal does not taste like it used to anymore.
No.
It's because they got rid of all the sugar.
Yep.
They got rid of like all the gluten. Everything is like whole wheat now.
Yep.
It's just, it all tastes like shit.
Yeah,
basically.
it's not great.
Like, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, well, fuck, if it's going to taste like shit, I might as well just eat brand cereal from now on. That's basically all I eat now.
Well, there's not everything always tasted so great, though.
No.
There was one thing in particular I was telling the wife about when we were going down this trip of nostalgia, was that we had, back when I was growing up in our basement, we had one of those long freezers down there.
Okay,
like
yeah.
like a separate freezer.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, way back in the 90s, we had these popsicles. And they were these vampire popsicles. And basically what they were it was a purple popsicle.
I don't remember these.
And inside was like a red jelly.
Yeah.
So when you bit it, like the
You're not supposed to bite a popsicle.
Well, no.
That completely defeats the purpose of a popsicle.
But when you bite it, like the jelly comes out like blood, and
Yeah.
it's like that's
But it
the
doesn't
thing.
because it's in the freezer and it's frozen.
And they were completely disgusting, and they just sat in the freezer. I swear they sat in that freezer.
Every household,
for 8
I didn't
years.
care whose house you went to, every household had that one food that's been sitting in the cabinet or the refrigerator or the freezer that's completely like non-perishable,
Right.
that nobody would eat.
Yeah, and here my wife actually did some research and found that they were Vampire Secret pops, and goddamn, they were terrible.
Oh, good.
They
God.
were the worst.
Those even look bad.
Yeah, no, it's not awesome.
I can't imagine that it was.
I mean, look, you gotta love the cartooning on the box.
What is
though.
the vampire? Like, I will say the packaging is cool. Like,
Yeah.
the packaging, I'd be like, that's
Yeah.
dope as fuck. But
Right.
like, what is the vampire secret? That's
That's a real good point. I don't know.
I feel like there's an implication there.
Yeah, I would say so. Do we got something on?
Nope.
Okay. So, another thing that we stumbled across while doing these goddamn commercials.
Right.
So many more PSAs.
Yeah, because people actually cared.
People gave a shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember. I mean, I certainly remember. Back in the day, there was a big to-do still about the war on drugs.
The war on drugs.
So we were watching over and over all these different cartoons and kind of
Every arcade cabinet back in the day had the winners don't do drugs screen on every single game.
Not only that, but like there was very much a targeted inner city experience with a lot of these things.
I don't think I can say no.
Yeah, so I picked one for us to watch, and it's pretty amazing. So let's take a look.
Hello, my name's Penny.
Ah.
I think people shouldn't do drugs. They can make you forget things.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Somebody might get clumsier, so you can't jump rope.
Well,
Yeah.
Drugs can get you in big trouble.
Yes.
You go to principal's office,
Uh-huh.
or to jail.
well, that's an extreme.
Or eat pizza.
Can't eat pizza.
I don't know. Like,
Hamsters are good.
Oh, that's a hamster?
that's a hamster?
Why is it so big?
I don't know.
What drugs is she on?
I don't. I think she's on drugs if she's hanging out with a hamster that big. I mean, bitch has
That's a
got
big-ass
bitch has
hamster.
got 2 cents for eyes and a giant fucking hamster. She's on something, and I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
I also feel like the anti-drug commercials just got more and more aggressive because then there was the one with I think it was Rachel Lee Cook who's like this is your brain on drugs, and she's like smashing the egg.
Yeah.
And she's like, and this is your relationships, and she's just like breaking everything in her house. And then I'm like, shit, I don't want to do drugs. And then I've done drugs, and I'm like, it's not like that at all.
No, I don't want to smash eggs at all.
So I want to smash eggs and make them. Like that's what
I want an omelet.
Yeah. Oh man. What from the fucking hamster?
God damn. Like, so we were running off of a lot of that, and we're just
Right.
like, wow, that's odd. And then they had obviously like skater Ruff McGruff, who was just like
Rob McGraw.
who was just like, cool kids don't do drugs and stuff like that. And I'm just like, whoa.
Okay. No, I mean, like, they were definitely trying to make a very poignant effort to, try to curb that. But, it's, you look back on it and you're like, did any of that really work?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Because most of the people I knew growing up did drugs.
Yeah. The war on drugs was ill-advised.
I'd say that.
Yeah. So, of course.
God, this stuff is still burning my
God,
throat.
It's so terrible.
It's
But I need something to drink.
right.
So, of course, the main thing that we were watching were the toy commercials.
Uh-huh.
And God damn it.
Okay,
Like,
let me ask you this, because my brother's having a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 kids.
Yes.
I remember growing up and toys being the greatest thing ever.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I remember having, like, the greatest toys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
lucky you.
Well, I was kind of just speaking like the general royal we, like,
okay.
like our generation.
Okay, sure.
Like, I feel like we also had so many like properties and franchises where they could make, like toys out of. Like, I mean, growing up, like I remember having like Ghostbusters, Police Academy, Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, Star Wars, Star Trek, like WWF figures. Mm-hmm. They were awesome.
Yes.
Are they still cool? Like, do kids nowadays still have like the wow, this is awesome factor of getting a toy?
Yes.
Yeah?
They do. However, I will say that it is not as strong as it was when we were kids, because like for my kids, for instance, they'll get very excited about a toy, but they won't ever fucking play with the goddamn thing because they're always on the fucking tablet watching videos and playing games and shit.
So everything's digital now.
Everything's digital.
Like, kids would rather play Minecraft and Fortnite and get like microtransactions,
right?
than like collect action figures and like set up little bases and stuff.
Yeah, like my daughter wants dolls,
Right.
and collects dolls, but I don't ever really see her playing with them. But she wants them.
Well, you don't play with the things you collect, obviously.
Well, that's fair. I keep them in the package. Christy.
Yeah.
I'm actually selling them all now, so now I'm getting better value.
There
So there you go.
Well,
But good thing that you brought that up, because you didn't even know what video is coming. You're correct that there were so many franchises for us to choose from. In fact, there were some franchises that they just made up. Like,
oh, that was always the trend.
Yeah, that was the trend.
Yeah, like the trend from the 80s was we have to make a toy. Like, I don't know if you've watched the toys that made us yet.
I've watched a couple, yeah.
It's fascinating.
I had to watch the Hello Kitty one.
Even that is fascinating.
Yeah, yep.
Like if you haven't seen the Barbie one, watch the Barbie one. That one is nuts.
Stinky Pete.
Stinky Pete.
Christy. Stinky Pete. He was kept in the box.
Fucking guys. No, but like even from like He-Man. He-Man was like, we have to basically compete with Star Wars. We need something. So they create this guy.
Yep.
And then when they go to pitch it, they're like, well, why would kids want to buy this? And then they're just like, oh, there's going to be a cartoon.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, okay. And they're like, there's also going to be a comic book.
Right.
And they're like, oh, okay, cool, even better. And then they leave the meeting. They're like, shit, we got to make a cartoon. like that's how all the greatest toys came to be, basically.
Yep. And this is a prime example of one that didn't quite work out.
Okay.
All right. So let's watch it. Let's watch
Okay.
this gem together.
Oh, volume's a little low. Yo, my dude, fucking Street Sharks. I had these.
Did you really?
Yeah, I had Street
wanted
Sharks.
them so bad, and I didn't get them.
I had two. I think I had. I had the dude on rollerblades, and I had the football
So
player one.
fucking 90s.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Oh man, this brings me back. It was dumb as fuck and super short lived, but yo.
Yeah. What do they do? I mean, I don't even know.
It's just a bunch of mutant sharks.
But there was no, like, this was a toy.
Yeah.
Before there was a franchise, and there was never a franchise.
It was a very short-lived franchise, but like they made a ton of toys.
Yeah. And nobody bought them.
No. I mean, I had two, so like that was the thing. Like I remember getting two of the Street Sharks, and I got two Street Sharks, and I got the Street Shark car.
There was a car?
There was a car. It was
I didn't even know about that.
It was a monster truck.
Of course it was. Why wouldn't it?
With like jaws on the front.
Oh yeah.
And it could eat the enemies. But like I had the car, two sharks, and nothing else.
Oh.
So I had like nothing else to go along with it.
Oh jeez.
But they were like still super cool though.
Yeah, like, and there was the more we were watching, the more we were just like, wow, that was.
Well, I also think there was a point in time where a lot of companies tried competing with the most popular thing out there. Like, obviously, that was just a ripoff of the Ninja Turtles.
Well, right.
You know, and like
mutants were big in the 90s.
Mutants were huge in the 90s.
Yeah.
So it's like everything was a ripoff of, Power Rangers, which was a ripoff. I mean, everything in Japan was basically the same. Like,
right.
I mean, with Voltron, Power
that's
Rangers.
Racist. But.
It's not. I'm not speaking from a race perspective. I'm saying the content. It's all a team of teenagers, like battling space creatures,
right.
and jumping into giant robots, forming one bigger robot.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the same. It's all ripoff.
Yep.
But then like there were like the Americanized stuff that was like, oh, we need to copy that too.
Right.
So everything was a ripoff of something basically in the 90s.
Good times, man.
Good times.
Yeah,
Great times.
Great times. So we were watching all the, and then that's what got me the most was all the old toy commercials that came up, and it was awesome because one would come up and be like, "Oh man, I remember that," and Blakely was like, "I haven't seen one toy that I've had."
Really?
Yeah. So like, it became the mission.
Right.
We have to keep watching commercials until
you land
she
on
finds
one. Yeah.
And we stayed up till 1:00 in the morning till she found one.
Oh my god!
Like it was
is that sad? I don't know.
First when we were first watching, it was obviously directed more towards boy stuff.
Yeah.
So then we switched over from Nickelodeon commercials to ABC commercials, and then you got a 50-50 split there.
Sure,
so
sure.
like you had the Polly Pockets, which she had, but like she was like, I didn't have any of those sets. Kind of thing. So she was looking for a specific, thing of nostalgia. And then like the ones that came up that you saw like every single time when you were a kid, like the Mr. Bucket. Like
dude, what the fuck was with Mr. Bucket?
I don't know what was going on with Mr. Bucket, but like one of those toys that like you were way too old for, but the commercial came on all the time.
Yeah.
So like you memorized the jingle.
Oh yeah.
And then like the one for Skip It came on, and it was like skip it, and we were just like, me and the wife were both sitting in there just going,
skip it. I don't think we were ever allowed to have a skip it because it probably would have been wrapped around either mine or my brother's head.
They still make them.
Yeah.
And my mother bought one for my daughter.
Right.
And immediately she swung it into my ankle.
Yeah, like that's the thing.
And it hurt
like toys were also like super dangerous back then too.
God damn, we had lawn darts.
Yeah, we did.
Mm-hmm.
There were lawn darts.
And like toys that made sparks. And
yeah, like what was with that? It's like, oh, what's this toy? Oh, I don't know, just make sparks. Here you go, kid, go play.
Yeah, go play.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. There was a distinct lack of safety in a lot of the commercials that we were watching.
That's what made it cool, man.
And it made it cool. It made it real.
Yo, do you remember Crossfire?
Goddamn right, I remember Crossfire.
Did you ever have Crossfire?
I did.
I always wanted Crossfire.
I had Crossfire, and my brother never wanted to play it, so I had to play it alone.
Oh, that's sad. I totally would have played it with you if we knew each other.
Right?
Oh my god. Yeah, like, because those commercials were always, like, super intense.
Yeah, and a weird, like, Tron kind of,
Yeah,
like,
it was,
age.
like, dystopian future,
Yes.
like, two kids battling out on a rooftop. Crossfire!
With these weird marble things.
Yeah, like, what the fuck was with that? I remember, and this is the other thing, too, is I think about it now, and I always remember having, like, specific toys, but I can never remember what they were.
Okay.
So, like, I remember, and I was big into this for a while. It was almost like a little Palm Pilot thing, and you like opened it up, and you had these discs, and there was a point at one of the ends,
Okay.
and you would put it in the device, you would crank it, and then you would hit a button, and the idea was like you would play against somebody, and then they were basically just like tops. It was like extreme tops, and they would bounce into one another.
Yes, I had those too.
And then whichever one was still standing won, obviously. But like all the discs had like Power Rangers and like Ninja Turtles or like skulls and like super cool little things. Next video. We are totally finding Crossfire.
We could probably find it on eBay.
Oh fuck! I'm doing
the thrift store.
Oh, we are doing it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm looking it up tonight.
Crossfire tournament.
Crossfire tournament right here next week if possible.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So like I can never remember what the name of it was.
I know what you're talking about. Like they were like gold, right?
Yeah. It was like gold. They had like a little texture to them.
I remember
like,
they had like
me
Power Rangers.
and only one of my friends had them.
I think they had wrestling guys too.
They probably did.
I think so.
I mean, it was just one of the things. They're like Pogs, where you just slap a sticker on it.
Yeah, goddamn. 90s toys were the best.
Dude, fucking Pogs.
Like a piece of
Were you
goddamn cardboard.
Right, with like a fucking dumb picture on it.
Right.
Were you big into Pogs?
I was big into Pogs.
Now, did you ever actually play Pogs, or did you just collect them?
I tried.
Okay.
Because like it was right on that cusp of like I was a little bit too young. Beyblades is what it's called now.
Yes, that is true.
Right.
It was essentially Beyblades, but
it was better.
Yeah.
Because it was in the 90s.
It was better because it was in the 90s.
But with Pogs, like Pogs came when it was like right around the cusp of like I was getting to the age of like I want to do something like that.
Right.
But I didn't quite understand it.
That was kind of like the older kid thing.
Yeah.
Because again, like having an older brother who had a friend who also he had an older brother. Like they kind of had that.
They had two friends, and then
they had two friends.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Because I remember my brother and his friends playing it a lot, and I had my little canister. Like my brother had one of those like 2 foot long canisters. I had the little 6-inch one. It's like, yeah, I got my Pogs.
Did you have a slammer?
I did have a slammer, but like I never played. One, because I didn't understand how to play the game.
Right. You just flip them over.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't that hard, but like as a kid in the 90s, you're like, I don't understand life.
Right?
I understand Fiona Apple,
things don't make
and
sense.
that's about it.
But yeah, I didn't understand how to play, and then I never
she played
wanted.
For keeps.
I see that
Christy played.
That
for
was
keeps.
the other thing. I never wanted to lose my good Pogs.
That's why you got to play the shit ones.
But like, are you supposed to play the good ones?
And
Is it like Magic where you got to make the perfect deck? Like, I don't know.
That was part of the problem with my understanding was I didn't understand which ones were good and which ones were bad without realizing that it's just your goddamn preference.
Like I think at the end of the day, it was
just like, is this worth money? I don't know.
Yeah, it was like Bitcoin. Like, what's the value? I don't know. It's just worth a lot of money.
That's extremely fair.
Yeah. Pogs were the original Bitcoin. Let's be real.
Goddamn, we figured so much out. Nick Arcade was the original Twitch.
Nick Arcade was the original Twitch. Pogs was the original Bitcoin. I will fight you in the parking lot if you want to say otherwise. But yeah, like, so I never really understood how to play Pogs, but I had them, and then there always comes at one point in your life where you're just like, I don't need this shit anymore, and you just lose it all.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Actually, my buddy just texted me.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Let's see. It's called Beyblades. Maybe. Was
it Beyblades back in the day too?
Maybe.
Huh. I don't know.
I don't know. I will do a deep dive.
Okay. I don't think it was. Because it was gold.
To be honest, I mean, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't think I knew the name of it back then.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, so...
I just remember, like, saying, because obviously no one would play with me, so, like, I would just do, like, crank the top thing, and then, like, let him go in my kitchen, and then, like, my dad would step on him and get all pissed.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened. So, can you type in, like, do you type in 90s
Yeah,
Beyblade?
that's what I'm doing. I'm looking it up.
Oh, maybe.
They looked very... Oh, wait a minute.
That's it.
That's it, right there. That's exactly
That's it.
Yeah, vintage 90s Power Ranger Beyblades.
Wow.
Well, shit. We unlocked a mystery here tonight.
We're doing so much
Great
work.
job, kids.
Good job, everybody.
Yeah, here's to you.
Fuck.
Oh, it burns. Oh, but you know what I love? This says citrus-flavored soda with other natural flavors. Bullshit.
Yeah,
Absolute bullshit.
And 56 grams of sugar. Jesus Christ.
Right. So Beyblades, apparently.
Yeah.
Pogs, and then GAC.
Yeah, goddamn right.
Dude.
Oh, no, and we saw the commercial for Floam, too.
Floam?
Yeah.
What the fuck
It was
Floam?
You don't remember Floam?
Was Floam like
it was like
knockoff?
it was a GAC type thing, except it was more foam-ish, and like you could mold it. And well, the commercial told you to do all sorts of obscene things that like I would not suggest at all. Like I wouldn't suggest putting it on your face.
I was gonna say someone put their dick in it,
or anything else that the
It looks like sandy GAC.
Yeah, that's basically what it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there was.
But GAC was the shit. I remember I got the glow in the dark.
I had the glow in the dark GAC too. The
got everywhere.
The worst thing. Oh God, yeah. I was only allowed to play with it on the kitchen floor.
Oh yeah, it's
on the kitchen floor or on the dining room table with supervision.
Yeah, smart parents.
My parents were very smart, but the problem was I would play with it on the kitchen floor, and I would always sit in this one dusty corner. For some reason, I liked hanging out in my kitchen. No, it actually makes sense that I liked hanging out in my kitchen. Let's be real, I was kind of a fat kid. Yeah, no, but I would always sit in this like one dusty corner, and I always like spread the GAC out as far as I could.
Christ.
And I would always like collect all the dust and crumbs and grime. So what would you have to do? You'd have to rinse it off and wash it. Well, once you wash that shit off, it's just done for.
Yeah, it's done for. Yeah, so my parents just gave it to me and said, "Here you go, have fun." And so,
big mistake.
Like it brought it into like the playroom, and like it got over everything. Oh, yeah. And you couldn't get that fucking thing off.
No.
It was originally like plumber sealant or something like that, right?
It was something like that. And then I remember in like 6th grade, there was like some guy who would come in and be like, "We're gonna make GAC," kind of, but it's not really GAC. And he would teach us how to make GAC with like,
and like everyone's all excited.
Yeah, like everyone's all excited. And, you know, it would work. But then, like, after a week, it got all, like, hard, and you have to throw it away.
God.
Yeah.
You know, everything's useless once it gets hard.
Well, I don't know about that.
Anyway, but yeah, so that was a great one. Another thing that kind of came up was the things that were marketed to children that are no longer marketed to children.
Like, wait, what?
So, for instance, what we're about to watch is, if you remember as a kid... plenty of times the fast food industry would target kids directly.
Oh yeah, but like Burger King Kids Club,
McDonald's.
I mean, McDonald's had a freaking creepy clown,
and all that. Now they can't do that. They can say we have toys.
We have toys and kids meals,
but they got rid of the clown. No more Burger King Kids Club. Right. All that shit's gone. So. Here's a goddamn blast from the past, and when you say creepy clown, oh boy.
Oh, I think I know what you're about to play.
So this
is this the hobo clown one?
No, this is from the holidays.
The holidays.
Okay. As you can see, everyone's going down to the local pond to fall on their ass, and they're
why? What the fuck is what the hell? VintageTVcommercials.com.
Watch this shit.
Yo, all those kids are on drugs.
I don't know why they're seeing cartoon animals either.
Yeah. And yo, I would never be cool with some clown just skating up to my... Oh, what the... What the? No! Put him down. Put the kid down. Put him down. That is, where are their parents? Where are those kids' parents? Where is he going? What the hell just happened? Why did that happen?
That was a real fucking thing. Oh, that was a real goddamn thing that happened. Oh. But yeah,
What the fuck?
Oh, and then that was the winner, but the close runner-up was the other holiday one where Ronald McDonald is in the yard building a snowman.
Right.
And the little girl walks up with the suitcase saying she's running away. And, like, he's, like, giving her all the reasons not to run away and stuff. And then she's finally like, you know what? I've got a good life. I'm not going to run away.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Good for her. Wow. She's 6. That, you know, it's funny, like, you bring up McDonald's because you think back to the 90s and how prevalent fast food was. And, like, I mean, I'm talking about, like, Burger King, McDonald's, Taco Bell's still amazing. I had Taco Bell today, actually.
Good for you.
But, like, Pizza Hut and Domino's.
Oh, goddamn Pizza Hut.
Dude, when was the last time you ate Pizza Hut and went, damn, that was a good pizza?
I don't think that's ever happened.
Oh, to be honest with you. I mean, I would say it's probably been since the 90s that happened.
There's a famous story with myself with Pizza Hut.
Oh, don't drink that.
Yeah,
I
so
need to stop myself.
I was going to a concert with a bunch of friends, and we stopped and had Pizza Hut before the concert. And, and so we eat the Pizza Hut, we go to the concert, and it's one of those things where it's an open pit area, GA, right? So we got there early just so that we can get in front. We get all the way in front, and all of a sudden the runs hit me.
Oh, I've been there
from the goddamn Pizza Hut. So I had to make my way all the way to the goddamn back. And there ain't no going all the way back up once that happens. So
yeah, I think the last time I had Pizza Hut and thoroughly enjoyed it was when, like, stuffed crust pizza just came out.
A thing. Yeah. Oh no! I take that back. I thoroughly enjoyed Pizza Hut with the free personal pan pizza from the book club if you got your Book It ticket.
What?
Do you not know what this is?
No.
Okay, so way back in the 90s, they had Book It tickets, and Book It tickets were a campaign to get kids to read because nobody wanted to read in the 90s.
No, no.
So
reading's for losers.
So if you got your parents to sign off that you read like 4 or 5 books or whatever the case may be, you turned it into your school, you got a Book It ticket, which was a ticket for a free personal pan pizza.
Okay.
So my parents would just sign the goddamn thing so we could eat because we were poor. So
I feel, okay.
So, like, that I remember being like, it's just for me. Like, I could put any toppings I want on it. I could put meatballs on this motherfucker if I wanted to.
I don't think you could you?
No, you could.
Oh, you could?
Goddamn right.
Shit.
Meatball pizza.
I mean, that's not a terrible idea.
No, it was actually really good.
Yeah.
But, like, I would usually get, like, oh, man, I could get, like, something wild, like pepperoni and pineapple.
Right.
It's amazing.
But it's funny how, like, back then you think, wow, like, this is the greatest pizza I've ever had in my life. And, like, you eat it now and you're like, this is dog shit.
It is
like I wouldn't even feed this to a dog.
Well, I would. Gotta do what you gotta do. That dog's gonna have runs, though. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. I mean, like, if your dog eats some toys and it's got to get it out, you just feed
gotta grease up the pipes.
Just gotta grease up the pipes. Let it all just flow right out the back.
Yeah. I mean, and that was. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it was amazing watching these commercials and being like, oh, this is what we did before the internet.
Yeah, and instead of watching things on a computer, you just watched them on a television.
Yes,
and you just sat through the advertisements. You didn't have as many distractions.
Not only did you sit through the advertisement, they became a part of your life.
They really did.
Like they influenced me. Like to this day.
You would have to watch like 28 minutes of Entertainment Tonight to see a trailer for Batman.
Yes.
Like that's how it worked. It wasn't like,
we dropped this.
Surprise trailer on YouTube launches now, then it goes viral, and everybody sees it within within an hour or so. It was like you had to go home, sit on your couch, or set up the VCR.
Goddamn right you did.
Yo, you know how many times I've gotten shit off the VCR? Oh, that was a lifesaver. But yeah, like go home, sit on your couch from like 8 to 8:29, and then boom, finally you got a glimpse of the Batman movie coming out, and you couldn't see another commercial or trailer for it for like weeks. Yeah.
And in preparing for this show, there was one thing that I did see was the top inventions of the 90s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and one of them, my kids will never know what this is, was the automatic VCR rewinder.
Yes. So, like, not a lot of people even know about this who are our age.
Really?
Yeah, because so many people, I feel like from our generation, they all had VCRs with a rewind button on it. But when VCRs first came out, I think they only had like play, stop, and pause.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't think there was even a fast forward option.
No.
And then as time moved on,
and as you watch the tape, you're like, "What? I'm done."
Shit,
that was it.
Pull out the fork.
Let me get my finger.
Pull out the fork. We got to respool it.
Fuck.
Yeah, and then
fork's a good idea. I never thought of that. I chewed up my fingers doing that.
Dude, anytime like a thing got stuck or became unspooled, it was pull out the fork.
Pull out the fork.
You turn around, you wedge it in there, and just start turning.
You guys are geniuses.
We lived through the 90s.
But at my grandparents' house, we had the automatic rewinder.
Right. Well, the other thing, too, was like home video wasn't really a thing.
It kind of took off, though.
It became a thing, I want to say, around like the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Because at the time, you had...
well, 89, Batman was the first, like, VHS...
Like one of them. I mean,
one of the first affordable.
One of the
VHS
because
ones.
you could buy VHS tapes, but the problem was
they were like $60.
They were like $60 because you'd have to get them from like the rental place,
right? Yeah,
and you'd be like, "Can I buy this?" And because they were making their money
off
of it,
well, they would buy it for
studio
they would buy it from the studio,
yeah,
and then rent it out and get their money from that.
Yeah, which is funny because when I used to work at a video store, I remember some of the movies, like, we couldn't get through the studios. So what we would do is, like, we would place a large order at, like, Walmart. And then the night of the release, we would go to Walmart, pick up, like, 25 copies, bring them back to the store, and just scan them all in.
Oh, geez.
Because I guess what a lot of rental companies started doing was they were actually renting the movies. Whereas the store that I worked at, they owned everything.
Okay.
So, like, once they were done using them, they just sold them.
Oh.
So, like, they made all of their money back on the rentals.
That's genius.
And then they sold them again to, like, loosen up the inventory and stuff. But, yeah, like, the thing with buying VHS back in the day, there was no home video market. If you wanted to buy a movie on VHS, it was, like, $60 to $100.
Yeah,
basically.
It's crazy.
And then, I think it was Batman when that came out. It was like the first movie that really launched the home video market.
I think it was like $29.99.
Yeah, it was like $20, $30 or something like that. Which nowadays you're like, holy shit, that was fucking expensive
for a VHS.
Yeah, because normally it's like the opposite. We're like, oh man, back in the day, gas was 79 cents.
Right.
Nowadays it's like, oh, fuck, VHS tape was 80 goddamn bucks.
Yeah, I know.
The shit.
Exactly. Don't want to be late on those rentals.
There's a fly in my surge.
Oh, well.
Can't drink it now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. I had another point to make, but I lost it.
Oh, no. Was it about the movies?
It might have been.
And, like, how fucking gnarly all the movies were back then?
Oh, they were amazing. Oh, fuck. What was my point?
You were talking about Batman and VHS. And
no, it was before
the
that.
Inventions from the 90s.
Okay, yeah, Inventions from the 90s.
Yes, we got there.
Yes. Yeah. So, not only was that, but... what was voted as having the item that made you seem like you had an upper classness to you, the beeper.
Yo, my dad had a beeper.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh man, he was hitting that, huh?
Probably
because beepers were for like doctors and hookers.
Or for like doctors, drug dealers, and hookers.
Yes.
He wasn't a doctor. That I knew.
I have a very vivid memory of a neighbor kid coming over, and he was coming over for like an hour or something like that, and then he's just like, hold on, I want to make sure my mom's home. Let me call her pager. And I was like, what's that? And then like the look on my mom's face was like, oh.
Oh, somebody's into some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the pager, it was because cell phones were kind of becoming a thing at the time.
Sort of, yeah.
So, I don't know, it was, yeah. And there were people who, like, had a pager and a cell phone. And it's
like, what are you doing with your life?
If you had a pager and a cell phone, you were definitely selling drugs.
Oh, for sure.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt about it. And then, like, pager stores.
Yes.
Like Beeper World and like
or even just goddamn Radio Shack.
Oh my god.
Like, what the fuck, man? We live in a world with no Radio Shack.
It's weird because I feel like Radio Shack could still serve a purpose today had they just evolved with the times.
And that's a lot of companies.
Like that was the thing because I mean it's an electronics store. Like people still own electronics.
It could be like a Best Buy.
Yeah, like a very dumbed down version of a Best Buy.
Yeah.
Because I'll never forget the time I walked into a Radio Shack and I was looking for a microphone for my computer or my camera. And I was like, "Do you guys sell camera mics?" Mm-hmm. And they're like, "Well, we got microphones over there." And they were like microphones like we're using now.
Sure.
And I'm like, no, I need a microphone for a camera. They're like what kind of camera? And I'm like, the only kind of camera you would use a microphone for, man. like a video camera.
Right.
Like, do you sell microphones to plug into cameras? And like, all the microphones we got are over there. I'm like, those are the same microphones. So I'm gonna say you don't.
You've pointed to the same area twice.
I feel like you don't know what it is I'm talking about, and you work at an electronics store. I'm gonna go now because you're gonna be out of business in a week.
I'm going to Amazon. Thank you.
I'm going to Amazon. Yeah, so, and like, I'm like, clearly they had no intention of changing.
Right.
Yeah, man, like, even technology back then, you look at it and you're just like, holy shit, how did we exist?
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like AOL, dial-up.
Did you have a computer as a kid?
We did get one late 90s.
Okay. I remember my dad getting a computer, I want to say it was like mid-90s.
Okay.
But it was one of the computers that could only run like MS-DOS.
Oh, jeez.
Where the floppy disks were like
oh, yeah.
that
oh, no,
big.
No, we had one of those.
Okay, yeah. Like the floppy disks were like that big.
Uh-huh.
And they were actually floppy. Like, because later on, they were like the hard plastic and tiny.
Right.
Like these were like super thin, super floppy.
Right. You don't say.
Just like other things.
Right.
And like, yeah, you could only run MS-DOS. So you could type, but you could play games. Mm-hmm. And there were some wacky games. And then like there were some dirty games.
Oh.
Like you ever play like
some text-based adventures?
No. Well, kind of, yeah. Where actually, yeah, where like it would start outlining the picture of like a naked woman, and then like there were like features and stuff. Because I'll never forget the time. I was like 6. I have no idea how it got added to our collection. I'm not gonna name names. I'm not gonna point fingers. Mm-hmm. But I remember being with my mom and being like, I want to play this one game. And she's like, I don't know what game that is. So like we're kind of going through everything. And she's like, is it this one? I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't know. I'm fucking 6. And we put it in, and it was the nudie game. And like the woman starts coming up, and she's like, nope, you're going to bed. Boom, and then like yanks it out. And I'm pretty sure she had a talk with my father that night.
I had a sort of a similar situation, but in the days of the internet. Oh. So in the infancy of the internet,
dude, those were some fucking wild times.
Dude, that's the wild, wild west, right?
Yeah.
So the infancy of the internet, and I'm talking AOL dial-up.
AOL dial-up. So you can't call the house anymore
because I'm on the goddamn internet.
Yeah.
So you get the free disc trials in the mail, right? And then you just keep getting them, and then you just keep doing new usernames, and that's how you get your free internet, right? So, well, I'm going to tell this story first, but then I'm going to get back to the other story. So, the first time we did that, I'm like, "Oh my god, what's the internet?" And so like I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm blown the fuck away because as a kid, like I had a TV in my bedroom, obviously. So at night I would watch Nickelodeon, and
sure.
then it would switch over to Nick at Night.
Yeah.
So that was all the classic TV shows, and
it was all black and white back then.
black and white, and then but they just added this new show to the Nick at Night lineup called the Brady Bunch. I don't know if you've heard of it before. So
Don't
anyway.
be an asshole.
So anyway, so I was watching. I was really into the Brady Bunch, right? Because that was on after my stories. So I'm like searching like what websites? Who has a website? And I'm like, does Nickelodeon have a website?
Yeah.
Nick.com. Oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Wait, does Nick at Night have a website?
Oh my God.
Oh shit, I gotta try this. So
Yeah.
Nick at Night, whatever. And it goes there and they're like, play the Brady Bunch game now. And I'm like, what is this? So I click on it and it literally was, the panel window where it has like everybody's face in it. And then it had a slingshot that you had to launch a football at Marsha's nose.
Oh my God.
So that was the game, is like it would change, and it was kind of like whack-a-mole, basically.
Oh, okay.
But with that, I wasted an entire disc of AOL Instant Messenger time playing the goddamn Marsha Brady fucking thing.
Right.
So anyway, that's side story. What got me in trouble was, as you know, as I just explained, I like my classic TV, right?
Right.
So also on Nick at Night, actually I don't know if it was Nick at Night or TV Land or whatever the fuck at the time, I was really into the Golden Girls. Right?
As you do.
So I was just like, oh, let me go to goldengirls.com and see if they have a website. And so I go to goldengirls.com.
I wonder.
And it is.
I'm gonna Google something real quick.
It is not what I was expecting.
No.
And I'm like, oh, what is all this? And then like you scroll and I'm just like, oh Jesus Christ! And so like I was home alone at the time, and well, what are you doing?
Shut up. Yo, this is still a thing.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. So
I Googled goldengirls.com, and the results came up. Shop Golden Girls. Who are these Golden Girls? Meet them and the Golden Crew. New arrivals, tops, bottoms, dresses. I feel like that's more of like a clothing.
Yeah.
But then there is Golden Girls Network, helping mature adults live the Golden Girls lifestyle.
Okay. Well, it must have changed because there was definitely some nudity on the page. So like, but
B. Arthur.
But at the time, well, it wasn't B. Arthur, but at the time, I'm like, oh shit, like this is an accident, but I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So, and I was home alone at the time, so I called my mom.
Oh.
At the time, I'm just like, Mom.
Did you rat yourself out?
Yeah, I said, Mom, I need to tell you something.
Wow.
I went
being responsible.
I went to well, dude, I didn't want to fuck around.
No.
So I went to this
So don't
website.
lose those internet privileges.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it already got taken away for Napster. So like, I went to this website. It wasn't what I thought it was. So if you see it, I'm sorry.
Just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, exactly.
No other details. That's where it ends.
Yep. And it turned out to be fine. But what a shock.
Yeah.
When you're learning what the internet is, and you go to goldengirls.com thinking you're going to get some witty elderly ladies.
just chat rooms
with
the filth and just the scum and dirt and the scum and villainy that just infested every chat room you went to. Oh my God. It's like you try to make friends with someone because you like wrestling, and then one thing leads to another, and you're talking about ASL and how tan are you? And I'm like, I know. No thank you, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, the internet was fucking filthy.
It was a crazy time.
I mean, it's still filthy, but
yeah,
you gotta like
but
search.
now like people can make you lose your job and stuff, and like it's a different time.
It's a different world.
It's not as wild.
It's all social based.
It is.
Well, like this was the time where like the internet really was like nobody knew who you were.
Nobody knew who you were. Nobody really knew what to do. Like e-commerce wasn't even really a thing yet.
Not really.
Like I remember Ask Jeeves. Like
right.
Like that was it. There was no Google. There was no.
What was the dog one?
Oh, Dogpile.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
No, there's another one. Because, like, I always remember the commercial where he was, like, telling the dog to go get it.
Fetch? I don't know.
Fuck, this is gonna kill me.
I'm pretty sure it's Dogpile.
I don't think so. Dogpile.com.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is a search engine, but that's not what I was.
That's not what you were going for.
No.
All right. Well, what do I know? You're gonna regret doing that, sir.
Regret doing what?
Just randomly typing in .com names.
Yeah, it was Lycos.com.
What?
Lycos, go get it.
I don't know what that is.
It was like the dude was talking to his dog named Lycos, and he would say, "Lycos,
How would I
go
know
get
that?
it."
How would anybody know that?
People from the '90s would know that. I knew it.
I knew Dogpile.
I knew
I knew
Lycos.
Napster.
I knew Napster.
Goddamn right.
What was your go-to Napster download?
My go-to Napster download?
What was the first thing you really remember downloading on Napster?
This was kind of fucked up.
Do you want to say it on the show?
Well, no, yes, but because I wasn't really allowed to just download stuff on Napster. Like I had to ask permission to do it.
That's kind of you.
Well, no. I mean, that's just the way that like my parents did things.
Right.
Like this is the internet. You don't do anything
okay.
without fucking running it by us. And I mean, this is like when Napster first came out. So like I was still under 10 probably.
When did Napster first drop?
But I remember
Napster was founded in 1999.
No way.
And it ceased operations in 2002. Yeah, its
I
initial
it
release
like
was
96.
June 1st, 1999.
Huh. How old was I then? What's the math? Christy,
you were probably 10.
Okay, so that makes sense.
You actually were. No, you might have been. When's your birthday?
June. Christy, what's the math?
It might have been like 2 days after your birthday.
Hold on, let me get a goddamn calculator out. What year is it?
It's oh my God, you're really doing this. What are you doing?
No, that's not right.
It's 19. What year were you born, sir? What? You just subtracted this year from 1999, didn't you? God, no more. I thought you were bad with the booze. Apparently, you can't even drink. Sir, you drank this whole thing. What you drank this entire can of Surge, and the amount of time we've been sitting here. I drank 2 goddamn sips, and my throat is on fire, and I probably need to see a doctor.
Yeah, probably. I was 11, by the way.
You were 11. Okay, so you were 11.
Oh, fuck.
I feel like this was around the same time.
Hold on, I got a story.
Okay.
So I couldn't download anything without permission, right?
Right.
So, but my dad was just downloading shit left and right.
Well, it's his internet.
Right.
He owns it.
Yeah, it's his thing, right? So he downloads this thing, and he's like, I don't know what this is. And well, he knew what it was, but my mom didn't know what it was. Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard of the rodeo song?
The rodeo song?
Yes.
Maybe.
Okay, well...
What is the rodeo song?
I don't remember who it's by, but it's basically like obscenity, I'm at the rodeo kind of thing.
Okay.
So, but it's got like this really upbeat kind of like country western thing. So like I just click on it because I'm like, oh, what's this kind of thing? And like we had the speakers, so no headphones, right? So it's playing out in the room, and my dad's not there, and like my mom starts like getting into it, like dancing,
right?
And then all of a sudden the words come on, and she's like, "Oh
no, not today." I didn't have Napster on my computer to start.
Okay.
My buddy Dave.
Okay.
Dave somehow managed to get everything before like anybody else we knew. Like he was
the guy.
Dave was the guy. Yo, Dave had the hookup.
Okay.
He had Sega. He had Sega TV.
Oh, I had Sega TV.
Yo, and he had the internet.
You don't say.
Yeah, but then he had Roadrunner.
Oh.
Yo, because Roadrunner,
man.
like as soon as Roadrunner came out, it was a thing because I like we always had AOL growing up.
Right.
And then it was like late 90s Roadrunner dropped. I remember going over to his house and be like, yo, let's get on AOL. He goes, nah, man, I got that Roadrunner.
Oh.
I'm like, what's Roadrunner? He goes, check this out. He goes online. He goes, no, pick up the phone. I was like, get the fuck out of here! What is this?
And not only that, but like, okay, so I want to see this picture. Click. Let me go make a sandwich.
Yeah, let me go make a sandwich.
Come
come
back.
back.
It'll be half done.
Yeah, it'll be half done. But then he had Napster, and then I remember that like one of the first things downloading on Napster was the high parody for Sesame Street.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you ever remember that, but like it was like that, Nelly, and like Limp Bizkit songs.
Yeah, I think like the first thing I like really downloaded, I think, was a Blink-182 album.
Yeah.
I think that was the first thing
and like nobody knew what they were doing. Everybody was just like, "Oh, cool! It's free music,
right?
That's awesome." And then they were like, "No, like we're like charging people lots of money for using this now, and it's illegal, and you could go to jail."
Yeah, and then everybody's
and
just
we're
like, "Okay, all right,
clean, go away. Nope, we don't have anything."
Yeah.
And then LimeWire came out.
LimeWire,
but that's in the year 2000.
And then Kazaa.
Oh fuck, Kazaa.
Yeah, that was my shit.
And then there was BearShare.
I didn't get that.
It was like a week. I downloaded BearShare, and I'm like, "This is a virus." And I got a virus.
That was the thing, like, and that's another part of like when you transform from the 90s where like you were lucky to have a computer.
Oh yeah.
And then when you get into the 2000s where almost every room has a computer.
The 2000, yeah, like the thing. It's funny because like going from the 90s, maybe we should do a 2000s episode at some point too, because there's a lot of shit there's a lot of weird shit you could get into from the year 2000s.
9/11.
Never forget. Like, oh shit. Yeah, like just like where the 90s was kind of like the Wild West, the 2000s was like the seedy underbelly.
Kind of like
yeah.
And you know what?
So like the 2000s is like, oh shit, we got to start protecting our stuff.
Yeah. Pretty much, just like the good times
They're
are
coming
over.
after us. We have to hide. Quick, get the computer. Throw it in the window.
Yep. Everyone, Big Brother.
Yeah, Big Brother was fucking everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. But for
Holy
now,
cow. Man, we ran through that.
we ran through that, and
That was
goddamn,
a sprint.
That was a good
I
time.
need a cigarette.
You need another sip of Surge. What you need?
No, I feel ill. I really do.
All right. Well, if you want to see us do a Crossfire Beyblades tournament,
Look at that. Oh, Magic
man.
Surge.
It is magic.
It's so good, but it burns so bad.
It's gasoline.
We got to find Crossfire.
So we're gonna do Crossfire. We're gonna do Beyblades. And we'll do Mr. Bucket.
Just for shits.
Just for shits.
Yeah.
And we'll make a tournament out of it. And then, of course, we're going to be doing a 2000s episode at some point as well. But if you've enjoyed this and this kind of a more prepared format than usual, because
more prepared.
We had videos and stuff to talk about, send us a line over on Facebook at Brainwreck Show.
Or find us on any other social media channel. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. Follow us on Twitch. All Brainwreck Show, or send us an email. brainwreckshow@gmail.com.
Et cetera, et cetera,
et cetera, et cetera. You should plug your comic book, man.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for reminding me.
Plug that thing you're doing.
I'm doing this thing, in case you haven't heard about comic book. I wrote a comic book based on me saying I was going to do that on the show. I did it. Imagine that.
It's out there now.
It's out there. We're doing a pre-sale for issue number 1 at devilwithincomic.com. That is DEVILWITHINCOMIC.com.
Devil Within Comic. I'm sure you can figure it out. It's okay. You're all smart people.
Yeah, so we've only got about a week and a half left.
A little bit of time left. You're just over halfway.
Over halfway. We're
bring it home.
Very close to hitting 60% total funding. So every little bit helps. If you could go, you can find us on Facebook at Brainwreck Show. Yes, we can do that too. Or Devil Within Comic. But yeah, we appreciate any of the support, and we got to get to that goal, or I'm fucked. So for this week, I've been Jason Axe.
I'm Kevin Graham.
And this has been Brainwreck.